It's also very noisy. You can hear it on. I'm disappointed. Oh, crap. Hi, I'm Joe, and welcome to Motor City Boat Werks. Let's get to work. So, where's the horns at? This is a hot mess. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. So what do we got today in the Boat Werks? Today I'm working on the vintage Hadley Horns. I've gone ahead and purchased a kit to hopefully be able to actuate the horns with a little press button that I have here.
If you've been watching my channel, you know that when I first started my trawler project, I bought a pair of antique air horns. These are Hadley air horns. No idea how old they are, but they're probably from the 1950s or earlier. The horns themselves are stainless. They were new old stock. I managed to purchase them off of Craigslist. My kids always got a kick of me setting off the horns in the shop.
Just blow the horn!
Okay, I'll blow the horn. You ready?
I promised them one day I'd put them on the pocket trawler. Now, almost 10 years later, it's time to figure out how these things would actually work, and I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put them on the Albin 27. This episode is about messing around with my boat air horns. Hadley Horns was founded in 1945 by Harold Hadley in Toledo, Ohio. He was known for inventing the first Freon-powered dual trumpet air horns. These horns were a staple of the boat building industry, and later they became known for their distinctive sounds on Mack trucks. It was referred to as the sound of safety. While trying to get these horns up and running, I managed to contact Hadley. They're still in business today. A technician told me the horns were older than he was, but they probably only needed 20 to 40 psi to get them working.
Air horns obviously run off of compressed air. And when you buy a set of air horns from your auto parts store, your marine vendor, your chandlery, whatever, they will usually come with the compressor that will go ahead and supply air to the horns to make them work. Now, some horns are only electrical, but these are air horns. They're in amazing condition. We know they work because I've used it with the regular shop compressor, just putting some air through there. But this is to see whether or not a small system can run this thing. Now, this is my third experiment so far, buying different compressors, trying to get these horns to work. I bought several of the small canister compressors like you might normally see in a car or on a motorcycle or something like that. But the reality is that those compressors are not powerful enough to actuate these horns and make them work properly. In fact, I contacted Hadley, they're still in business, and I asked them about these horns, and they were older than anybody who happened to be there who could help me. Of course, they had seen them before, but they had no more information on them or anything. They guessed that they would work with about 20 to 40 psi. Now, the small canister compressors that I bought to try and use with this, those put out a maximum of, one was 18, the other one was 21, and that was not enough to get these horns to fire. So I've gone ahead and I've purchased an actual mini compressor with a mini air tank with a solenoid valve. I've kind of bodged this thing together using whatever hoses and fittings and wires that I have in the boat shop. Nothing matches, everything's just kind of put together. The purpose is to see whether or not this actually works and how it might work when I transition over and install it inside the boat. We got our 12-volt battery, and this is the system. Come check it out. So what we've got here, this is the Hadley Horns, right? This is our battery here. This right here is the mini compressor, right? It's a tiny little compressor. They use these for airbags in cars, lift systems, and horns, and whatever kind of stuff. And this is then connected to a small air tank. This is a half-gallon air tank. This should, generate as much as 150 psi. Pressurize this tank. The tank should be ready to go. it then goes to a solenoid switch right here. Like I said, this is just kind of clipped together in various ways. We're gonna turn this like so. That's a pressure switch right here. This is a pressure gauge that's on here. This is the air comes out, goes into the solenoid. This is the air coming in from the compressor here. I haven't tested this, so you're gonna get it live, and if it doesn't work, that will be pretty hysterical. All right, so we got a fuse set up inside here, and we got this over here. Okay, so what we need to make sure, here is our diagram, what we got right here. I'm gonna run through everything before I connect the last lead. Oh, I do have a union. Okay. I don't know if this thing's gonna move. I don't know what exactly is gonna happen. So since I tried to bolt things down, let's see. Should have put this on a clip. There we go. Look at the heat generator. Oh, it's running out of air here. Pressure at. We got a leak here. This is connected. Like toots out of it. All right, let me think for a second what to do next. All right, here we go. So I replaced this hose clamp right here, so now we got a tight seal, and it looks like we're holding pressure. There might be a slight leak somewhere. Where? Maybe from one of these quick fittings. That's not very good. I don't think that's gonna work. There's not enough air in the tank to make this thing work, so I don't know what I think about this. I think the Hadley Horns, as cool as they are, it just requires too much infrastructure to kind of get this thing running. I gotta have a bigger tank. I gotta have bigger lines. This thing is noisy as this compressor. Takes up a lot of space.
Like a lot of projects here in the Boat Works, this was one of those I didn't really understand the nuances of what it takes to make a horn system work on your boat. These vintage horns require a lot of air. They need a very large tank so that you can toot the horn repetitively over a period of time. And you need a compressor that can refill that tank relatively fast and not be too noisy. An alternative to one of these piston compressors would be something like a direct drive compressor, one that forces air on immediate demand as soon as you press a button. When I first started these experiments, I bought a $25 horn kit from Amazon. I was pleasantly surprised with how loud these horns were. It may not sound that loud on YouTube, but in the shop, it can be deafening.
All right, now we've got these Chinese knockoff horns connected here. They run through a relay here, and you can hear what this sounds like. What I want to do is I'll put my finger on this here just to kind of hold it in place. But here's what it sounds like. You ready? Whoa! Man, that's loud. And you can lay on this as much as you can hold it. I think I like that a lot better. All that I need to do this other one is these horns here. I just need a horn and this little tiny compressor right here and this little relay. That's it. I think that's the way to go. I'm skeptical how these are going to hold up. These knockoff horns here, they appear to be made of aluminum. They're not ferrous. So
what the Hadley horns give you is this distinctive low truck horn sound. And the Chinese horns, well, they're a little bit more train-like. With this small setup, they're definitely louder. This is one of those times that I think practicality kind of overrules the cool factor.
Well, it certainly gives me some things to think about. I got to decide now which set of horns I want to use and get an idea of where I might install them on the top of the Albin 27. There's a lot of gear that's going to be up on the hardtop here. I got a new radar array that's going to go up top here. We're going to have several sets of solar panels. The horns got to fit in someplace. All this has to fit on the top of the pocket trawler. That'll be a discussion for another episode. I hope you got something out of this one. We'll see you next time. Stay motivated.
If you like these videos, please hit the subscribe button. These videos would not be possible without your support.